His name was Henry Madsen, and this is how he died. The outbreak had hit. Panic ensued. Many, as I did, began looting. I was one of the unlucky few, detained by local authorities. Or maybe this was actually a blessing in disguise, as I, a humble burglar, was thrown into a holding cell. After a week had passed, the police station was hit by a horde. Those things, zombies they called them, ripped through the station. Screams and gunshots echoed throughout the halls. Still trapped in here, all I could do was watch in terror as the guards were torn apart. Hours went by before those creatures finally left the room. Reaching my hand through the bars, I grabbed the keys from one of the corpses lying there, unlocking the door, gaining my freedom. I made my way down the hall to the main office, spotting a corpse on the floor, a crowbar in its hand, and a bag on his back. After grabbing the goods, I realized that I was not alone. A zombie stood to the far side of the room, unaware of my presence, facing the window. Sweat dripping from my brow, hands shaking, weapon at the ready, as I slowly crept towards it. After having a quick look around, I found the locker room, equipping myself in police garb with bulletproof vest. Then all of a sudden, I heard gunshots coming from outside. In hopes of finding a survivor, I go to investigate. After making my way to the front of the building, I see no survivors, just more zombies, drawn to the sound of the gunshots. I yell over to get their attention, and to my surprise, one charges at me like a wild beast, then another. These feral zombies almost caught me off guard, but I steeled my resolve to deal with these demons. Just when I thought I'd beaten them all, the final showdown had begun and an epic battle was waged. Until at last, I threw down my enemy and smote her ruin on the roadside. Back at the police station, I raided the mini fridge and had a drink to victory. One cold carton of milk. After a refreshing beverage, I investigated the side door leading to the car park. And alas, more zombies to deal with. One of the zombies had a key on them. It was marked Armoury. At first, I tried to see if I was able to hotwire the swap van. After a few attempts, I realized it was folly. I tried my luck heading over to the Armoury in hopes of finding some guns and ammo. To my delight, it was fully stocked. I began to transfer the loot to the swap van in hopes of getting a working vehicle up and running. After a few trips back and forth, I had finished. It had been a long day. I was exhausted and decided it was probably safer to have a kip in the back of the van than in the police station. That morning, after having contemplated what horrors awaited me, I say to myself, Madsen, you son of a bitch, show these monsters the meaning of freedom. So I do just that. Grabbing the shotgun in the back of the van, I decided I'll purge Rosewood of this blight. just like that, Madsen's hunt begins. And then, amidst the chaos, a new kind of zombie had arrived, with a terrifying shriek so loud, alerting all nearby zombies of its presence. Luckily, I'd been making more noise with my gun than those shriekers, but would be something I'd have to watch out for in the future for sure. After clearing the vicinity, I climbed over the fence, planning to look for supplies in the residential area, but in hindsight, probably wasn't the smartest idea. The fiends began to surround me, and with all the noise that it made, more were on the way, I'd wager. After a couple of close encounters, without taking any more chances, I retreated back over the fence. Tired, cold, and starting to feel ill, every cough and sneeze attracting more zombies, unable to find anywhere safe to sleep. With little options left, I decided to continue my onslaught on the zombie horde. After thinning out the surrounding zombies, I broke into the local bakery for a quick bite to eat. Trying my luck back at the residential area, hoping I could sneak into a house and maybe get a few hours of sleep. My illness was getting worse, and the constant sneezing had drawn many to the house that I was in. Taken by surprise as one of them dives through the window, in my current condition, I struggled to fight them off. One tore into my shoulder, another bites a chunk from my stomach. Things were looking bleak. I managed to push them back, and with no other choice, I grabbed my trusty shotgun and fought back the monsters. Ambushed from behind, I managed to narrowly escape death. A constant onslaught denied me of any time to tend to my wounds. After fleeing the scene, I made my way to the police station parking lot, finding shelter in the old swap van. There, I tended to my wounds before finally getting some much-needed sleep. After waking up, I changed my bandages and found a working car that I was able to hotwire. Deciding that in my feeble state, I could use this vehicle to thin out some of the local zombie population. I noticed an ever-encroaching toxic fog that was burning my lungs even through my gas mask. After trying to escape many zombies and loot what I could, tired and exhausted, I tried to find my way back to Sanctuary, back to the swap van. Around the parking lot, those things were waiting, with so little energy even taking on one took everything I had, and they were many, with more coming. I could barely walk, let alone fight. The situation had become dire. The zombies kept pushing at me as I tried to retreat. I thought, had my time come? Eventually I gained some ground and made it into the police station, and I walked out the side door, closing it behind me, separating me from my foes. Desperate for any kind of safety, I bet everything I had on the fire station. I heard strange sounds coming from inside as I approached the entrance with my gun in hand. I dealt with the inhabitants of the building, making sure there were no more roaming inside. Deciding to blockade the door of the room I was going to rest in seemed like a safe bet, and now I could finally get some well-earned rest. And that concludes Chapter 1. Thanks for watching.